In an era marked by unexpected changes and unprecedented global challenges, the eternal mysteries of the prophet Daniel become surprisingly relevant. His visions, once hidden in ancient texts, gain new meanings as they are confronted with contemporary events. The messages revealed by Daniel, far from being restricted to a distant historical context, seem to align with today's transformations, awakening a sense of unease. This challenges us to question established logic and urges us to seek a deeper understanding of the times we live in. These ancient prophecies shed light on the hidden forces shaping our present, and their relevance continues to be felt strongly as we face a world in constant flux. For centuries, scholars and believers alike have been fascinated by the Book of Daniel. Its words, filled with metaphors and enigmas, are not just reflections on the future, but also an invitation to understand the connection between the divine and human events. This sacred text, mixing symbolism and allegory, becomes a bridge between spiritual tradition and the challenges of the modern world, leading to a reflection on how these ancient words can illuminate our understanding of the present. It is through this lens that we are able to interpret the social, political, and economic dynamics at play in the world today, observing patterns that have remained constant throughout history. Daniel, the protagonist of this prophetic narrative, stands out not only for his wisdom and courage, but also for his unwavering faith in an alien and hostile environment. His life and the visions he received are testimonies of a truth that transcends the limitations of his time. He shows, through symbols and omens, how human behavior and historical cycles follow a pattern that continues to manifest in a relevant way. His story not only served past generations, but remains a guide for those facing the dilemmas of the modern world, particularly in the face of rising global tensions and political instability. Daniel's revelations are not merely predictions. They offer a profound insight into power and domination, showing symbolically how empires succeed each other and alliances are formed. Every image described in detail in the text is a key to understanding the movement of forces that govern history. When we examine these images in light of our contemporary reality, we can see how they dialogue with current tensions, revealing a panorama where the divine intertwines with earthly events, guiding our understanding of what is to come. The complexity of these images mirrors the complexity of the political systems and struggles for dominance we observe today. The essence of Daniel's visions lies in the way he combines the sacred with the everyday. He presents power as something dynamic, rising and falling in cycles, always with a constant renewal that traces back to a greater divine plan. The battles between opposing forces, between the rise and fall of kingdoms, suggest that great human transformations are not merely political or economic, but reflect the cosmic struggle between light and darkness, good and evil. Each empire that rises and falls carries within it the promise of a new configuration of power that silently but determinedly approaches, marking the beginning of a new era. Scholars of Daniel, both traditional and modern, have deeply explored the symbols and metaphors in this book. Through careful analysis, it is possible to see how Daniel's messages resonate with the political, social, and spiritual realities of our time. The interpretation of these images is not confined to a specific historical context, but offers a timeless reading that reveals challenges that continue to manifest today, whether through economic crises, geopolitical conflicts, or the centralization of power. In fact, many of the issues we face today, such as the growing concentration of political power, economic inequality, and environmental degradation, can be seen as modern-day reflections of the struggles Daniel described. The impact of Daniel's visions goes beyond a mere observation of the past. They provide a lens through which we can examine the changes happening in our globalized society. Today, more than ever, the rise of a new world order seems to reflect patterns described in Daniel's prophecies. The centralization of power, Economic transformations and the increasing interdependence of nations are themes that echo in ancient texts, suggesting that the cycle of rise and fall of empires has not been broken. These modern phenomena mirror the ancient cycles Daniel foretold, making his message even more compelling and urgent. Daniel's symbolism, which portrays different kingdoms and forces in battle, offers a complex view of the dynamics of power. Each animal, each empire, is not just a representation of a historical period, but a metaphor for the forces of domination that continue to act in our world. In his analysis, Daniel not only presents us with a succession of kingdoms, but also warns us about the strategies of manipulation and deception that may hide behind the appearance of stability and peace. This leads us to reflect on modern control systems, which often disguise themselves as promises of prosperity and global unity. The actions of modern leaders, who often use rhetoric of peace and cooperation to mask their true intentions, echo the deceptions described in Daniel's visions. Technological advancement and information control emerge as crucial elements in this new cycle of power. Just like the kingdoms described in Daniel's prophecies, today's global powers are using technology to consolidate centralized power, manipulating public opinion and economies in ways never seen before. The strategic use of communication and the ability to shape global narratives show that the warnings of Daniel are more relevant than ever. The digital age, with its rapid dissemination of information, has become both a tool for empowerment and a weapon for control. The manipulation of information and the increasing surveillance of individuals represent the modern face of the control Daniel foresaw. In a world where political and economic borders are dissolving, the question arises: are we facing a new cycle of power that reinvents itself as history repeats? Daniel's prophecies suggest that we are. The path we are following, with the growing control of global power and the centralization of decisions, seems to follow the lines drawn by the ancient symbols and messages of this sacred book. The dissolution of borders, the rise of multinational corporations, and the increasing reliance on international agreements all suggest that the dynamics of global power are undergoing a transformation similar to the ones Daniel described. The reflection on the mechanisms of control and domination that are emerging today is fundamental to understanding the true nature of power. Daniel teaches us that the signs of the future are present in the present, and that a careful reading of these messages is vital for preparing us for the global challenges ahead. Each one of us has a role to play in this process, whether through personal discernment, collective reflection, or the search for truth amid uncertainty. This individual responsibility is crucial, as the actions we take today will determine the world we leave for future generations. In a scenario of intense transformations, faith and discernment become powerful weapons against the forces that seek to dominate humanity. The union of faith communities is an essential pillar in the resistance to the centralization of power, and the study of the scriptures provides a solid foundation for understanding and reacting to the challenges that arise. True change begins with individual awareness and collective action in defense of freedom, justice, and eternal values. It is through this union of faith, wisdom, and action that we can hope to face the challenges of a world that is rapidly changing and uncertain. Daniel's message, when applied to modern times, invites each of us to question, learn, and act. A deep understanding of his visions not only illuminates the paths of the present, but also offers hope and guidance for the future. As we approach 2025 and the global changes that are unfolding, it is essential that we prepare spiritually and intellectually to face the challenges ahead. This preparation requires not only an understanding of the past, but also a willingness to adapt to new circumstances and challenges. Now that you have been guided through a journey of reflection on the secrets of the prophet Daniel, we invite you to continue this journey with us. Subscribe to our channel, like, and share this content so that more people can benefit from this deep reflection. Join the discussion in the comments and help us build a community of faith and knowledge that unites in the search for truth. Join us and be part of a network that is ready to face the challenges of a constantly transforming world with courage, discernment, and action. Together, we can prepare for the future and ensure that the values of justice, truth, and freedom continue to guide our path.